Good evening and welcome to Friday night prayer. I hope tonight finds you well and that this has been an okay week for you, wherever you find yourself. I am going to use a different book tonight. This is one I've been looking for a couple of weeks, and it's called Prayer Rhythms for Busy People by Ray Simpson. And Ray Simpson has written a few books drawing on the Celtic tradition, and the prayer that I'm going to use tonight is actually the night prayer for a Thursday, but the reason why I'm using that is because the prayers on a Thursday are all centered around God in community, which seems appropriate for this little community. I praise the name of the Father who fosters us. I praise the name of the Saviour who embraces us. I praise the name of the Spirit who encircles us. One is the God from whom all people come. One earth is the bed on which we make our home. One is the air that all creatures breathe. On your world, Lord, let love descend this night. On your church, Lord, let love descend this night. On all who work, Lord, your love descend this night. Where there is strife, Lord, your love descend this night. Where there is neglect, Lord, your love descend this night. On all who sleep, Lord, your love descend this night. Mighty One, I give you thanks with my whole heart. Great are your works. All who sense their wonder study them. Your work overflows with majesty and honour, and your righteousness lasts forever. You are gracious and full of mercy. You provide food for those who honour you. You are faithful and just in what you do. Reverence for you is the beginning of wisdom. All those who practice it have good understanding. We thank you for your presence through the day and for friends who have helped us on our way. As shadows fall and the wheels of the world grow still, forgive us for our failures in love. Visit this house and drive away all that would harm. May holy angels preserve us in peace. Support us, Lord, through life's troubled day, until the shadows lengthen and evening comes. The fever of life is over and our work is done. Then, Lord, in your mercy, give us a holy rest and peace at last. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Do not claim to be wiser than you are. Do not repay anyone evil for evil, but take thought of what is noble in the sight of all. Circle the world, Lord. Keep grudges without. Keep friendship within. Circle the world, Lord. Keep wrangling without. Keep trust within. Circle those we bring before you now. Kindle our hearts, O God, the flame of that love which never ceases, that it may burn in us this night, till we shine forever in your presence. God with us lying down, God with us rising up, Christ with us sleeping, Christ with us waking, Spirit with us now, Spirit with us evermore. I hope you enjoyed having something a little bit different this evening. It will be Advent very, very soon. In terms of the church, that will be Sunday, and in the rest of the world, it's kind of generally thought to begin on the 1st of December rather than sort of Advent Sundays are a more liturgical churchy thing, and it means that there's 4 whole Sundays before Christmas Day, which is why we always start that first Sunday before, so sometimes it does begin whilst we're still in November, as it does this year. And so I've been thinking a little bit about what that might mean for us, because Advent is a time of waiting and preparing and of longing, and we have spent so much of this year waiting and longing and maybe even preparing, that to have more of that feels just feels like a hard slog in some ways. And I know a lot of people have already put up their Christmas trees and their Christmas lights, and it's all to do with hope, isn't it, really, to hope for something more joyful than what we've experienced so far this year. And for me, it's still really important, and this might be the case for some of you as well. It's important to observe Lent. I am Anglican to my very bones, and as Anglicans we love Lent. We love a bit of Lent. We love a bit of misery before the joy. So, you know, technically for us, Christmas doesn't begin until Christmas Day. But there's been so much waiting. So it's how do we do that? And in Advent rather, and in some ways it makes Advent a little bit easier, because there's so many distractions usually in Advent, and as a priest it's such a crazy busy time. Not only do we have the normal family stuff and the draw of all the wonderful celebrations that are going on around us, but you've usually got more than double the work that you have throughout any month during the year, throughout December, with all the carol concerts and Advent concerts and extraordinary services and just all those extra bits that we do at this time of year that can be completely exhausting. And on top of that, you've got your normal duties. And for myself, working full-time at the hospital, often working over Christmas and maybe even Christmas Day itself, it can become a time with so much busyness that the joy of it passes you by. So what I'm hoping, knowing that this Advent is going to be quieter and gentler in so many ways, is to use that to focus on what for me Christmas is all about. But also what I'm trying to encourage people around me to do is to just to engage in some self-care, which I think is so important, and something that is so often neglected. I'll put a couple of things on the internet at the hospital today. Earlier in the year, I think from St Michael's and in the chaplaincy, we posted some stuff from Action for Happiness, and each month they've been putting out a different calendar with each month having a different emphasis. So right at the beginning of lockdown, it was how to deal with things. For September, it was all about self-care, and December is all about kindness. So if you go to Action for Happiness on the Tinterwebs, you can find this kindness calendar, and that will be the wrong way around for you. But for each day of December, from the 1st until the 31st, and it's specifically for 2020, so it's all appropriate for how we're living at the moment. There's different things that you can do, there's different suggestions, and even if you just manage a few of them, just sort of engaging with those acts of kindness, and sometimes being kind to other people can benefit us just as much as the person that we're being kind to, if not more. And the other thing that I found was a self-care advent calendar, and this is from Coffee Shop Cynic, and it's just a little poster, self-care advent calendar, and it's just the most simplest of suggestions, but there's one again for each day of December up until Christmas Eve. So it's just a few suggestions of how we can look after ourselves and those who we love a little bit, and kind of engage with that Advent season a little bit. So I hope that you have all been well this week. I hope that things aren't too stressful in your lives, and that you have coped okay with the last few weeks and the additional restrictions. I think in Manchester we're still going to be pretty restricted after next Wednesday, but hopefully we can at least get haircuts, which I probably need. I know the rest of the family certainly do. So I hope that this week you are able to do things that bring you joy, that you're able to think a little bit about Advent and what that might mean for you, and that you are able just to find those little glimpses of light and joy that I often talk about. Just find the smallest of things that can bring you the most joy, even if it's just watching Strictly tomorrow night, or having a glass of really lovely wine, or some really good chocolate, or something that brings you a little bit of happiness in its simplicity, or having a hug from one of your kids, or a cuddle from your dog, whatever it may be. I hope you find that bit of joy this week. So please take care of yourselves, and I will see you again next Friday. Bye bye.